If you're new to 2C8 Lite, let me start by explaining that 2C8 modeling tool is the main application, and it's required in order to work with 2C8 Lite. 2C8 Lite is a simplified version of the modeling tool, with fewer features. As a user of 2C8 Lite, your main responsibility is to manage the models assigned to you. This is the first view you'll see when opening 2C8 Lite. At the top of the window, you'll find two tabs, one called Local and another one for the server. Right now, we're in the Local tab. That means everything you do here, models you create or edit, is saved only on your computer. Nothing is shared with others, and anything you build here is completely isolated. The tab next to Local, and any tabs to the right of it, are connected to servers. In my example, the server is named Training Videos, but your organization might use a different name. We'll look at how to work with a server in a moment. But first, let's explore what you see in the Local view. Here, you'll find three boxes: Recent Models, Your Models, and News from 2C8. Under Recent Models, you'll see the models you've worked with most recently. This is also where you can create a new model. But remember, when you create models locally, only you can access them. They're not available to others until you export and import them into a server-based repository. In the Your Models box, you'll see all the models you've created locally. Right now it's empty since we haven't created anything yet. The third box, News from 2C8, displays a feed directly from the 2C8 website, with updates and other relevant information. At the bottom left corner of the window, you'll find a link to the 2C8 portal. If you click your profile picture, you'll be able to access your account settings. For example, to change your password. When working in 2C8 apps, which includes both the modeling tool and 2C8 Lite, you're working in something called a repository. A repository is a model library where all information is stored. A server-based repository can be shared by multiple users in your organization, while a local repository is only accessible to you. If you still want to create a local model, click Create New Model, give it a name and confirm. This will open the modeling workspace in your local repository. At the bottom of the application, you can always see which repository you're currently working in. But here's an important tip. Avoid working locally unless it's absolutely necessary. When working locally, you're completely isolated. You can't create breakdowns in the models, and they won't be part of your organization's shared structure. While it is possible to export a model from your local repository and import it into a server, our strong recommendation is to always work directly in the server environment. If you want to close the local repository, click File and then Close Repository, or simply click the X in the top right corner. To start working in a server repository, click the tab next to Local. This is the server view, or dashboard, as we often call it. Here you'll see all the models that have been assigned to you, whether you're a modeler, reviewer, or approver. At the top right, you'll find icons that let you filter the models based on their status, such as editable, under review, under approval, or draft. Speaking of drafts, when you create a new model in the server view, it's created as a draft. A draft isn't yet fully integrated into the repository. Instead, it acts as a standalone proposal. It has limited functionality and isn't automatically connected to other models or objects in your organization's structure. The idea is that you, as a 2C8 Lite user, can submit suggestions for models you believe should be created or communicate needs to the responsible modelers using the modeling tool. When you submit a draft, it's reviewed by someone with access to the modeling tool, who decides whether to approve it and include it in the repository or reject the proposal. It's important to remember that as a 2C8 Lite user, your main responsibility is to work with the models assigned to you, not to build entirely new structures from scratch. To open a model, simply double-click the model title. This opens the editing area. If you want to navigate to the repository's homepage, where the model was originally created, just click the home icon in the toolbar. You'll be taken to an overview page showing all models in that specific repository. You can customize the list by clicking the gear icon, where you choose which columns or model types to include in the overview. On the right-hand side, you can also switch between different views. For example, recently opened models, news, or models you've marked as favorites. And just like before, you can use the gear icon here, too, to adjust what's displayed and tailor the view to your preferences. So, now we've covered the basics of getting started with 2C8 Lite, both locally and in a server environment. The next step is to begin working with the models you're responsible for,